Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I want to do a little follow-up on this chest rig. So if you didn't see my previous video about this, this is the Warrior Assault Systems Pathfinder Chestrig. And there's a couple unique things that I really like about it, and what drew me to purchasing this, but it's actually got me to like it a lot more since I had the opportunity to run it at a class 2 weeks ago. So, this is not an overall review on the product. It's just a kind of an update on what I think about having had the opportunity to wear it a handful of times and use it at a class. So, 2 weeks ago, I took a class out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's to a company called Xert. I'll touch on what Xert is in a later video, but the event was called Genesis Resurgence. It was a 2-day gig, or a 2-day class, and essentially it was an introductory into all of the classes that they plan to put out for the curriculum that they're going to be dropping. With that being said, I only ran it for the second day of the class. The first day I was focusing more on something else, and then I decided to run this the whole entire day, the second day of the class, and I was really surprised by how well I liked it, and a lot of the times you kind of forget it's even there. So as you can tell, just putting my hands up against the rig, minus the drop pouch, it's a really small platform. Reason being is that this is actually supposed to work in conjunction with their Recon Plate Carrier, and that system, I'll roll in a picture of what it looks like now. I actually have one coming in so I can test it out as well. But this will work directly with the Recon Plate Carrier, and what it does is it unclips the 2 clips on the side, or on either side, and then the 2 right here, and then it'll mount onto the plate carrier like a placard. So rather than having 2 different systems, you have one complete system that has a lot of adjustability, which is why I liked it. The other reason that I really liked it is that it's smaller form function. So how small it is, pretty compact, really lightweight, and I could accommodate up to 6 AR-15 mags. So having the ability to go lightweight, so you get the pros of speed working for you, but you can also carry quite a bit without adding a lot of weight. So with a plate carrier, anybody who's worn any type of plate carrier knows they add quite a bit of weight, especially when you're running typical sappy plates, or if you're running steel plates, they add a lot of weight. With this, keeps it lightweight. You already have your setup right here, and then this will just plant right up against it. Now, to cover some of the stuff from the previous video, if you didn't watch it, these outer pouches here and the 4 pouches in the back, mag pouches, are all sewn in. That is all one piece. And these are mollied in. So you can remove these and put them however you want. I am a really big fan of these pouches, having used them over the class. And honestly, I have been toying with the idea of maybe getting a set of these for a new belt system that I plan on building out. Excuse me. And running these instead of the Kiwis. But there's some give and take with them. So if you haven't run Kiwis, where did I put that piece? The S-Tac Kiwi pouches, they're a Kadura pouch with an insert like this, and this is a Kydex molded insert that when you insert the magazine, it creates tension, but it allows it to slip in and out and keeps that form factor. So with these, as you can tell, it's not super easy to pull out. On the inside here, you have like this textured leather that's kind of got like a grippiness to it. It's not tacky, but it definitely has some grip to it. So it'll collapse enough to stay flat. Like it'll flatten out really easy because there's nothing but elastic, 2 layers of elastic material, and then you have your Cordura front and back that's doubled up. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's thick, but it'll flatten out. There's nothing rigid about it, but the elastic material coupled with that textured leather, I don't know exactly what it is, but I mean, I can lift this whole thing, shake, there we go, and now it pops out. So as you can see, this thing really grabs the mag very, very well. So this antenna's hitting the wall, so it's being a pain in the ass, sorry guys. But as you can tell, extremely good fit. It's got quite a bit of tension on the mag, so you don't have to worry about it flopping out. The S-Tac Kiwis will feel like they come out maybe too easy sometimes. However, I've never had, even just rolling around on the ground or whatever, never had one lost. So I have no reason to go to say anything other than it's been rock solid. But getting back to the point on hand, I didn't really have a use for these at the class as it was so new and I didn't get a chance to actually configure it. This pouch, I just have a set of 511 gloves in here that I threw in there for the meantime. And the way I configured it, which I'll be honest, I didn't run it in this full configuration at the class because, again, traveling, flying with stuff, you got to keep the weight down, whole 9 yards. So I didn't have the drop pouch, which I'll cover that in a second, and I didn't bring my comms because I had no use for it. But what I did was I threw extra pistol mags into this and rattled around a little bit, but it wasn't an issue. It wasn't like it was going to come out. So you have quite a bit of adjustability. It's just an open GP pouch, and you could actually fit a mag in here. Actually, let me see if this works in here. So, if you wanted to, you could run a Kiwi insert in this mag pouch if you really wanted to. Sorry. And then you can run up to 8 mags if you choose to. However, I think 6 mags is more than enough, especially if you're running it in conjunction with a battle belt or war belt, whatever you want to call it. So, moving along. While I was out there, I didn't have any issues with it moving around while I was, moving or shooting around barricades or under the barricade. Didn't have any issues whatsoever with this kind of feeling loose. I know there's been some that I've worn in the past that you really got to cinch them down to get them to stay in place. And I didn't find that to be the situation here. Sorry, guys. All right, and then also with the H harness rather than the X harness, I found it to be a lot more comfortable. However, if you're just wearing it, like my shoulders are pretty broad and squared off, I don't have like crazy traps or anything, but it held up fine. Sometimes it felt like it wanted to slide off to the outside, but I think that was more so me. I have a tendency that when I wear packs, I always connect that center strap to keep them positively in. So not having that ability kind of messed with me a little bit, but that's something that I can always add on if I so choose to. But throughout the whole, I think I wore this for about 8 hours. I had no issue going around barricades or moving from barricade to barricade and feeling like it wanted to slide off. I only ever noticed that when I was like topping off magazines or something, and then I would get that little feeling like maybe it wanted to slide off, but that wasn't the case. And once I started actually running and gunning, which honestly wasn't a whole lot of running because of my knee, but I didn't actually, that never came into play once. But other than that, it was extremely comfortable. I love the ability to to adjust it on the fly. So you have the top and bottom right here adjustments real quick, and you just tuck them into this elastic band, no problem whatsoever. As you can see back here, you got this panel. This is so that you can hook it to the placard, or hook the placard to the mount interface for the Recon Plate Carrier. And then let's see, what else did I do? Oh, one big thing. So I've probably mentioned this in other videos. I'm not a huge fan of retention straps. I'll run them if I have to, or if I feel there's an absolute need for it. But outside of that, I typically do not run straps. The only one that I'll run straps on are pouches for comms, because that needs to be retained, and a lot of comms pouches will have some type of slack in it to accommodate for multiple different comm sets. So you use that and adjust it. Now, I did love the fact that these are Velcro on both sides, and you can just adjust them up and down to fit your need as far as perceived retention. However, in my infinite tinkering, I found that these Kiwi inserts from S-Tac fits these pouches perfectly. So you get super fast insert, and you can pull them out really fast. And I like that it keeps it open enough that if you have to reindex, you can reindex pretty quickly. Now, you can sink them however far you want. I have them all the way down in, because I kind of like a 50-50 ratio. I like to have it no more than 50% of the mag exposed, so that I can positively grab it. Typically on chest rigs, I can go up to about 75% and be fine. There's some that come like all the way up to the mag, and I don't like that because it interferes when you try to pull the mag out. But this ends up working out fine. So ran that at the class, whole 9 yards, reindexed, drew from it, no problem. Never had any issues with them coming out, and because these have the hook side on both sides, they perfectly interface with the loop material that's on the back of the pouch, the mag pouch. So, and that's on both the front and back. So you don't just have one side, you have both. And as you can see, it keeps it wide open, but if you have to collapse or you have no mags, it'll collapse, and just have the bottom of the mag open a little bit. But other than that, no problem. These mags were fine. These mag pouches were fine. I really like them. Super, super, super positive retention, but easy to draw from. So when you're wearing them, you just, a positive pull, and it comes right out, no problem. I had no issues with reloads running these two pouches here, but I am a big fan of how these work. I think they're pretty similar to what Haley Strategic is doing with their pouches. However, I think they're like half the cost or something like that. I'll double check and annotate it in the video, but that's where we're at with these. So, as of right now, the way I have it, it's set up perfectly for my intended use. This is something that if I gotta pick up and go and handle some stuff with, my family, or protect my family, whatever, this chest rig is perfect. However, I can keep the plate carrier in my pack, and if I have to go overt and run a full plate carrier, I can just pull this placard off, stick it onto my plate carrier, and run it as such, and then throw these somewhere in my pack or ball it up and throw it in a GP pouch, whatever. As for this dangler pouch here, this is a cheap one I got off of Amazon from PTAC Gear. It's an airsoft company. However, it seems to be doing pretty good. I haven't really ran it very much lately because it's something that I threw on after the class. I haven't had the opportunity to run out, but I got some like chem sticks. I got an extra flashlight, right in the rain pad, pen. I have a Lensatic compass, few little odds and ends, but I'm just trying it out to see if it works. It is a real small form factor, so you can see it only hangs down, I don't know, maybe 2.5 inches or so. It's a very small pouch, so I don't know if that's going to be big enough to accommodate what I want it to accommodate. However, I will figure that out later on down the road. But as of right now, I am a huge fan of it. It is a little dirty. You're probably not going to notice too much from the dirt down there in Oklahoma, but the class was a lot of fun. We did a lot of stuff, starting with basic rifle and pistol all the way up to 2-man and 4-man team tactic movements, and we even did an FTX at the end of the class, which I am going to do a video on that whole thing. I'm just waiting for my son to be here so that me and him can do it together, because we took the class together. But other than that, let me know your thoughts down below if this is something that interests you or you're intrigued by it. Also, let me know what you think about this backdrop. I had to change it out because the black was messing too much with the camera, especially when I had other black items on here like mags or pistols or rifles or whatever. It would mess with the camera in terms of trying to zoom in and out, and I would have to turn the ISO setting up a lot more just to accommodate, and it kind of would whitewash a lot of stuff or wash out a lot of stuff. But let me know what you think about this in the background, and curious to hear what you got to say. But let me know what you think about this, and then hopefully in a few months of getting some good time on this, I can do a legitimate review and give some honest feedback as far as overall use. But until then, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Any kind of comments you want to leave, you can leave them down below in the comment section. Questions, you guys know that I am pretty active in the comment section, and I will accommodate whatever I can if I can. And you guys have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.